Hey, Positive Pathers. I hope everybody had a fantastic holiday season and a happy new year. We're off and running now, so it's already the 4th. It's already flying by, just like the last several years have. So again, hope everybody had a great time. Today I want to talk a little bit about my past relationships with two people that were obviously important to me. One was my biological father, and while we weren't super close personally, sorry, I got lost the call there. Oops, sorry guys. Had a call come in. Doing this on my phone. Anyway, so he was still my dad, and we had our clashes like we all do, but he was still my dad. And the other person was someone who was really special to me. It was my best friend. We grew up together from junior high all the way through high school and our beginning of college. We were just, we were inseparable. Played football together. We surfed together. We had our first girlfriends. We grew up together, right? Like everybody has one of those. And he was he's my homie. He was my best friend. And both of these individuals died from cancer. My best friend at 20, when we both were 20 years old, and the other was my dad at 59, and which is pretty young, very young actually. And so while I don't want to start the new year bumming you guys out, this is actually a hopeful story, because while Kevin in particular, my best friend, he lived life with a lot of passion. He was great at sports, incredible athlete. He had a million friends. We all loved him. He's just a good guy. Came from a great family. And when we all lost him, it was tough. It was really tough. But I want to honor his memory of of the life that he lived and what actually killed him. And so he died of cancer. I don't want to get super deep into what kind, just out of respect for his family. I don't, but and respect for his memory. That's not the point of this. The point of this is that back then we didn't know a whole lot about chemicals in our toxins and chemicals in our chemicals in our food, chemicals in our cleaning, chemicals in just the air that we breathe. And again, guys, we got to live life. We got to get out there. We got to do things. But I'm watching and seeing how so much information is finally coming out and finally making its way to more on the mainstream. I've talked to a lot of people that they feel like the chemical-free thing is really difficult to understand, and I'm breaking it down here at the Positive Path page. So if you got friends that want to know more, send them here and have them watch videos. They're for free. We're on YouTube as well. Check us out there. Some content's the same, some's overlapping. But I'm building all this content in to talk to you guys about how easy it is to get to learn about this. Because back to Kevin, it wasn't easy. We didn't know about this when we were in high school. Our parents didn't know about it. He had amazing parents. They didn't know. My parents didn't know. And so now that we have, I've lost a couple of people, and I'm so passionate about this. And now that I'm a dad, and Kevin is never going to get to do that. He never got to be a dad. He passed on when we were 20 years old. We were just kids. But I want to honor his memory and honor my biological father's memory, who died at 59. I'll tell his story in a second. By reminding you all as the year starts out that the chemical-free thing is serious, guys. It's super serious. These toxins are just invading our lives through, household detergents, hand soap's one of the worst offenders, because we do it throughout the day, every day, and out in public we really can't control it, right? You use the restroom, you have to wash your hands. Hopefully, I hope you guys are washing your hands. If not, that's a whole different topic of health and wellness. But you can't really control it out in the world, when you're at a restaurant or at a coffee house or whatever, or at work. But you can in your home. This is your home. This is your castle. This is your safe place. You can control it here. So I would encourage you guys to start questioning what you're using, what you're putting on your hands, what you're allowing your kids to put on your hands. Ladies and guys, what you're putting on your face in the shower, guys, bar soap, again, really bad. If you got toxins in it, there are other better ways. And so when I think back to Kevin and what we used to wash ourselves with and everything, I'm not saying all of these things triggered that. What I'm saying is that it certainly didn't help. And there have been a lot of people that I've known that have no genetic history of cancers, and all of a sudden just bam, get it. We all hear about it. Almost all of us now know of someone who's got cancer, and a lot of times there's no genetic history. So what does that leave? That leaves external influences on our body that we're putting in and on that are attacking our system, our immunity, our vital organs, and other, central nervous system, other massively important systems to the human body and human health and human emotional wellness as well. So I kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of a story from my background. It's very personal, obviously. He was my best friend, but I just wanted to share that. The other part of this post is my biological father. As I said, weren't super close, but still, my dad, right? And we all love our dads in some way, shape, or form. And he died at 59 unexpectedly. So short version of that story, he called me on my birthday, which is in early November, and said something about the Broncos game. We have roots in Colorado, so that was always my team and his team. And he was just said, hey, I feel super hot. I'm going to the doctor. That was in early November. Like I said, November 3rd. It was my birthday, and he died on December 1st. So that's obviously less than just shy of a month. He went from not feeling super hot to being deceased. And what had happened when they gave him the diagnosis, and then afterwards when they were looking at his body, because I wanted to know what was going on. He had cancer of the stomach, cancer of mainly of the stomach, and a little bit in a few other areas of his body, but none of his vital organs, as far as his lungs, had cancer, and which was weird because he was a smoker. So I dug a little deeper and began to understand what he was using, and I looked back over his diet, right? So clean nutrition, I'm always going on about that. I looked back over his diet and what he used to eat, and I kind of just thought back of and two things were clear. And I'm not doing this to knock my dad, I'm doing this to honor his memory, but I never saw him drink any water. I talk a lot about proper hydration, right? And our losing weight loss challenge, our 10-pound weight loss challenge, hydration's huge on those 5 steps. That's a big deal, right? Never saw him drink any water. It was always soda or milk or something processed, usually with sugar in it. And I saw him eat a lot of processed foods. So prepackaged meals were like his favorite. Those Hungry Man meals, he had a big appetite. Everything was processed. Didn't see him eat a lot of fresh greens really ever, and certainly no fruit. If he wanted something sweet, it was candy. So that's kind of I hope for our community, starting to kind of be a no-brainer for us and our kids and our family. But for a lot of people, it's not. My son got picked up this morning to go to an amusement park. And the family that picked him up was our awesome one of my favorite families. A great kid, great dads, a great dad, great mom. And they were dipping into McDonald's on the way through to see if he wanted to get anything for breakfast. And I'm not knocking it, guys. It's okay to cut loose and do something every once in a while. What I'm saying is when it's our lifestyle, then that's when it can really hurt us, and really bring us down, and cancer is caused by a lot of external stuff. We tend to think of it as a lot of genetics. It's not. It is, but it's also, in addition to that, there's a lot of external influences on what we put in our body, are exposed to with our lungs. The funny thing about my father's death was his lungs, no cancer, even though he smoked every day of his life from 18 to 59. I mean, chain smoker. And I'm not advocating cigarettes, obviously it didn't help, but his lungs had no cancer, but his stomach did. We're learning a lot about gut health right now in science and how that's tied to emotional health. My father's emotional health was never good. And I can't help but wonder if that's why, part of it was how he was feeling inside, because he was putting things in his body that his body just didn't recognize as daily fuel. Again, not treats here and there, but his daily fuel. So I wanted to share that with our community at large here in Positive Path. And as we start 2018 and as we kick this off and model for our families and our kids what it looks like to live in true wellness and while still having fun and enjoying our lifestyle, I wanted to share something a little bit personal, from my background, from my best friend and my biological father, and how I lost them. And so that you think a little bit, more clearly about what you're using in your home and what you're putting in your body. Not in a fear-mongering way, nothing to be afraid of. It's just truth, so that you guys can learn and we can learn together and know that there's a better way out there, and it doesn't have to be complicated or expensive to implement for ourselves, our families, our pets, our homes. So I hope you guys got a lot of value from that. It's obviously something that's deeply personal to me. I really appreciate you guys checking this out. And if you have questions, comments below are great. We totally appreciate that, and we really want to engage with you. Put a couple links at the bottom so you guys can see what we're about as far as how to get started with Positive Path. If you want to go and meet with one of our coaches, you can go to positivepathlife.com. Click on the Contact Us tab, or if you're ready to get started with a $99 wellness call, you can do that as well. We get you this complete, in-depth call, get your whole household and yourself completely dialed in on how to move into full wellness. $99, it's very inexpensive, and it also comes with coaching backups and boosters that we provide after that fact, where you still have that support. It's very, very a huge value for such a small amount. And then the other thing is, if you guys just have questions, aren't sure yet, the Contact Us tab. That's where reach out to one of our coaches. We'll get back to you, and we'd love to engage with our community. That's why we're doing this and providing the content to help you guys learn and hopefully grow into a life of better wellness. You guys make it a fantastic Positive Path day, and I will be going live about two times a week for the next little while now that we're back from the break. And I was actually in Mammoth, so I was up there doing a little snowboarding, and that's part of what made me think of this. Is that Riggs would have, my best friend Kevin would have loved being up there, and it kind of got my wheels turning. So I wanted to share a little bit with you guys. I hope it was valuable, and I will talk to you soon.